Welcome to PlayStation Unchained, episode 91. I am your host this week, Shillabeer-Hall. Mike Harradence has confirmed that he will be back next week, so yay for a different host next week. But we have our wonderful Russian friend Garri with us this week.
Huzzah! How's it going, Ben?
Not too bad, thank you, and you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Just hanging in there.
Good. And we've got Duffman with us this week as well, Adam Duffield.
Hey guys, how we doing?
No, not too bad. How you been? It's been a while.
Yeah, not too bad. My son's a little bit unwell, but other than that, it's all good.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of news because Tokyo Game Show was recently. It was last week, correct? So we've got a lot of news to cover.
This weekend. Start on Friday.
Yeah,
no,
so this
Thursday.
week it's going on right now, which is back then for you, but right now for us.
Oh yeah, some people consider Sunday the start of the new week.
Yeah, but by the time this will go live, it'll be Monday.
Okay,
so
that's true.
It'll be the past for them, but still the weekend for us. So
yeah,
it's this last week for you. So enjoy Tokyo. Anyway, let's go. Before we confuse ourselves, let's go to the news. Let's start with some interesting news. Destiny the Taken King is PlayStation's most downloaded day one game of all time, which confuses me, mainly because it's not a game, it's an expansion pack, but let's carry on with this anyway. Activision has announced that Destiny the Taken King has become the biggest downloaded day one expansion pack in PlayStation history. The expansion, which launched on Tuesday for PS4, PS3, Xbox One and Xbox 360, set a new record for peak online concurrency. It was also played more people on the day one than the original version of Destiny. Destiny the Taken King is officially the most downloadable game on... How many times do they want to say that on day one in PlayStation history? I'm not going to say this because it's exactly the same things I just said before. And check our website because it has all the information on becoming better at Destiny and becoming a legend. Garri, what do you think of this amazing Destiny day one news?
This isn't amazing news. This is terrible news. You know how I feel about Destiny.
Yeah.
The only thing this shows me is how forgiving people are. Like, a company can screw the fan base and the consumers so much, and yet they'll still forgive them for anything. And this is what, to me, this is people forgiving them for releasing a pretty much unfinished game at the start that was not even mediocre, is less than mediocre. And whatever the Taken King is, I haven't played it.
It's not bad.
But apparently people love it so much, and to me it feels like this is what it should have been when it launched. But no, they released it this year and charged people full price for it if they want to buy it retail.
I paid more than full price.
Yeah, because you bought a collector's edition that comes with a stupid metal coin that's not even real. Which makes me want to throw a knife at you, Ben. I could, virtually.
Well, if you play the Hunter class on Destiny, you could throw knives at me.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just jump in and troll you the whole time.
I do have a... Anyway, I'll talk about that later. Anyway, is that what you think of the Taken King?
That's what I think of the consumer who bought the Taken King. I'm sorry, like, you're just too forgiving of a company that spit in your face, and you forgave them so easily for it. So
I get it. It's a shiny thing.
It's a shame.
I'm like a magpie.
But yeah, like you said, it's not a full game. It's an expansion pack.
Yeah.
Like, I can't just play the Taken King. I have to have the original game to play
and you
it.
gotta have the DLC as well.
You have to have those DLC packs too?
Yeah, you gotta have the DLC packs.
Well, there you go. They're screwing you even now with this new release, and you're still buying into it. So, pretty much all those people who spent $60 last year should get all their money back. And should probably get this game for free, in my opinion. It's a joke.
And if you bought the collector's edition, you get the game and the expansion packs. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous to me. That you're forced to buy their DLC in order to play this Taken
DLC.
King. Yeah. Okay.
Adam,
that's my opinion on that.
Adam, what do you think about this news? I know you used to play Destiny for a while, if I'm right.
Well, I still play it. I must admit, I was one of the easily forgiving consumers who actually brought and paid for the DLC on day one. I can see Gary's point, to be fair. perhaps maybe people that bought it in year one should have at least got it half price.
You should
Maybe
get a
not
discount for every DLC you bought.
Yeah. But I love it, to be honest. It's got me straight back into Destiny again. I love the way it's changed the whole layout of it. I've not taken part in the King's Fall raid yet because I can't find a raid team.
I haven't tried it yet.
Something that I definitely want to give a go. Sounds like it could be quite a little while for you to complete it, though. I think some teams just done it in about 7 hours. So probably take me about twice as long as that. But no, I'm one of the easily forgiving consumers that actually downloaded it day one. So it doesn't surprise me that it was perhaps maybe the quickest, biggest downloadable expansion pack in the history of gaming. I think not just PlayStation, was it? So yeah, I think I really enjoy it. But I can see Gary's point.
I've got that amazing new exotic fusion rifle, by the way. It's amazing.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. Were you using the free of coins when he was selling them?
I've used it once and I didn't get anything. But apparently, if you use them, they give you a better chance of getting one next time. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's about 33% chance. So, anyway.
Yeah, nothing's dropped for me yet.
Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta kicks off in December. New Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection trailer released. Uncharted 4 Thieves' End multiplayer beta will run December 4th to the 13th. Sony and Naughty Dog have announced. Access the multiplayer teaser with every copy of Uncharted the Nathan Drake Collection, which is a remaster of Uncharted 1, 2 and 3 without the online. But you will need PS Plus to play the multiplayer beta, but to be honest, that's pretty much... I think everyone knows that for multiplayer now. So what do you think, Adam? 9 days of a beta, do you think it's worth purchasing the collection for it, or just purchase the collection for the fact that it's amazing games?
Personally, I've never played, well, I've played one of the Uncharted, but I only played about an hour of it. So I'm mainly buying it for the actual amazing games that they are. I suppose if people like multiplayer, then it's a bonus for them. But for me, it's not something that I'll probably be taking part in. I'm just buying it mainly because I haven't played any of the games and I've been told they're so good.
I love them. I do. They are very good games.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Gary, are you going to be purchasing the Uncharted Multi-Sexy Edition?
I will be purchasing. Hopefully, I'll be getting it for review. But
nice.
I'm definitely excited for this. Technically, if you really think about it, this collection should be Game of the Year since it has 2 Game of the Years in it already.
Wow.
But
what a twist!
yeah, but no, 9 days for the multiplayer beta, I think, is more than enough. Actually, if you really think about it, nowadays when you go into a beta, in about 2 days of the beta, everybody's already max level and knows all the hiding places where to camp and all this stupid crap. But 9 days, I think, is more than enough. If people complain about 9 days, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It's a beta. It's a test and to show you what the multiplayer is going to be like. You know, the game comes out in March. March, right? Is that what they confirmed?
Yeah, March. Yep.
Yeah, March 2016. But yeah, as far as having a multiplayer beta for it, if you buy the Uncharted collection, like Adam said, like you should buy it just to have it because they're 3 incredibly amazing games that, you know, changed, you know, the cinematic gameplay, just like Metal Gear did for the PS1. Uncharted has done, in my opinion, for these new generation of consoles. So yeah, you should buy it just for the 3 games. If you're buying it just to play a multiplayer beta for 9 days, then you're paying $60 for 9 days of gameplay, and that's just terrible, in my opinion. So yeah.
So yeah, some really sad news right now. Persona 5 delayed till winter 2017. Delayed till summer 2016 in North America, and Japan, which means that Europe will probably get in 2017. But anyway, Atlas has announced that the next chapter in the Persona franchise has been delayed until summer 2016 for the PS4 and PS3. Keep in mind that delay pertains to the Japanese launch of the eagerly anticipated RPG, so this presumably means an even longer wait for the US and European release. This is about the previous year that it would come out in 2015. I wouldn't be surprised if they said financial year 2015, which would still almost be... Anyway. Well, it's officially that Persona 5 has been pushed back. The publisher did have a brand new trailer for the game at Tokyo Game Show 2015. Remember to check our website to view the trailer, because we can't, word the trailer to your ears. So yeah, check out psu.com for the trailer. Garri, are you looking forward to Persona 5?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm so looking forward to that game. I love the Persona franchise. As far as the delay, I think everybody kind of saw it coming, since there'd been no news on that game heading into the holiday season. I don't think it's a surprise at all that it's been delayed. I do think it's a good idea that it got delayed. You don't want to release a game that's so niche. It really has a niche market. It's not like this massive game where it sells, 10 million copies when it launches. It has a strong following, but it's a strong following that it's good enough for the sales for Atlas. So I think moving it, into what is summer 2016 is the best thing they can do, because we talked about this yesterday, Ben, that most games don't come out in the summer, so maximize your sales then. Don't compete with everybody else during the holiday season.
Yeah, I agree. We brought up last night in a different podcast that summer is probably the best time to release games. Adam, what do you think of Persona 5 delay?
Well, I can't really say much, to be honest with you, because I've not really followed any of the Persona series. One of the lads on PSU, Gers, recommended it to me, but I've never actually played it. So I suppose, like Garri said, if it means that the game comes out more polished and makes for a better game, then that's fair enough. But personally, like I say, I've never played one, so yeah.
What do we call it? Okay, next, World of Tanks has been announced for PS4. Check out the first screenshots in the words. Check psu.com, blah blah blah. World of Tanks is officially coming to PlayStation 4. Developer Wargaming has announced the PS4 version of the game, which was originally released on the PC and enjoys a massive following, will include full DualShock 4 support. Well, thank God for that. Thank God they had announced that they're going to include full DualShock 4 control support, because otherwise I was thinking I was going to have to do it with my mind. As well as compatibility with share play and remote play. Oh, remote play, so news. As with the PC edition, the PS4 release is free to play and such won't require subscription to Sony's PlayStation Plus service. A beta is scheduled to roll out before the end of the year. Transfer by 2011. I will still remember Eurogamer. It must have been 2011 then. I can't believe it's been 4 years. Wow. Where went to the expo and there was a massive tank outside to promote the game. It was amazing.
Did they let you write it?
No, that would have been brilliant though. There's like loads of jeeps and a couple of tanks.
Yeah, brilliantly dangerous. Are you kidding me?
with half-naked women walking around the tanks. It was amazing.
Oh, well, that sells your game right away.
Yeah, if you come for the tanks, stay for the women.
Tank Girl, man.
Yeah.
I seen the anime.
Okay, Adam, what do you think of World of Tanks coming to PS4?
Well, that's good news. I've only played World of Tanks once, but it was good fun playing it. So the fact that it's coming to PS4 and means that more people can join in the fun, then it can only be a good thing. Yeah, I enjoyed the game when I played it. It was good fun. It was just something a little bit different, tank v tank rather than tank v everything else. But yeah, it's good news. Good news.
And Garri, will you be spending any money on the World of Tanks?
I won't be spending any money on it, no, but I'll probably give it a shot since it is free to play. Yeah, this is good news. I remember this was pushed really hard by Microsoft as being exclusive to the Xbox 360. I remember that, and obviously that's changed now. I don't even think World of Tanks is out on Xbox One, but here it is coming out on PS4.
I think
great
it is,
news.
isn't it?
Is it out on
Yeah, I
Xbox?
think it is.
Yeah.
I think the World of Tanks is already on Xbox One.
Well, that's good. I'm hoping that on the PS4 version at least, they'll let you play with the PC players, like most of the free-to-play games on PS4 allow you to do now.
Yeah, I wish Warframe would let me do that.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, but then in Warframe, PC players will always be better than console players. But yeah, no, this is great. I mean, we have War Thunder, which is primarily an air combat game, even though they added ground vehicles to it. But now you have a game that's all ground vehicles as well. So yeah, it's good. I'll definitely be picking my. I hope it has a German Panzer, because let's face it, that's like the greatest tank ever made.
Of course, it's gonna have one.
As much as I love my fellow Russian tanks, the Panzer was unstoppable when it came out. So,
and while we're talking about unstoppable and one of the greatest things ever, let's talk about Gravity Rush 2, announced for PS4. A sequel to Gravity Rush was announced at Sony's PlayStation Tokyo Game Show, and is set to launch in North America, Europe, and Japan sometime in 2016 on the PS4. For those who are big fans of Gravity Rush, there was also a remaster of it announced for the PS4, which will be out in December. And Gravity Rush was one of probably the best Vita games ever made, in my opinion. So I'm really looking forward to the remake and the sequel, especially as the sequel will include co-op with Raven in multiplayer. So yeah, I can't wait. I really can't wait for this game. It's probably going to be. This is now probably one of my 2016 games that I can't wait for. And I'm down to review it, the first one, the remake anyway. Garri, are you looking forward to Gravity Rush 2 or Gravity Days 2?
I am looking for. I'm actually surprised that they announced it on the same day that it's coming out in Japan, US, and North America. Quite honestly, I didn't think it'd make it to North America. Because I remember it wasn't like a big seller in North America. I know it sold pretty well in Japan, but not here.
Sucks because it's a good game.
No, it was a great game. And like you said, I think it is one of the best Vita games they made, because it utilized the Vita for all its strengths. You know, the touchscreen, everything worked so well for it on the Vita. As far as the remaster goes, I don't really think they need to do it for the PS4. But you know, more power to them. Hopefully more people will get to experience it, since a lot of people didn't experience it on the Vita. But for Gravity Rush 2, like you said, it looks amazing.
The remaster looks really good as well, to be honest.
No, yeah, that is very true. But yeah, you know, we'll see how it works with the touchpad, because it's going to have to utilize the touchpad like Gravity Rush 1 did with the touchscreen on the Vita. But yeah, I am kind of worried that it might be a little too action heavy now. From the trailer they showed, there's a lot of combat, but we'll see. We'll see how
I
utilized.
think the combat was probably limited just because of the Vita.
Maybe
they probably wanted more combat originally. In my opinion, I think they wanted more combat, but because of the memory or whatever reasons, because it's a handheld.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What I am hoping they do this time, though, is they utilize the gravity functions, like running on the side of the wall, you know, things like that, into the combat. Because as far as I can remember, the first one really didn't do that. I don't think
they did it.
You had to fight on the regular plane. You couldn't fight upside down or on the side of the wall or anything like that. So hopefully, with like the co-op features, they'll allow you to do that this time around.
You know what they should do?
Yeah.
So everyone in the world can vomit while playing the game. Support more for VR.
Yeah. That'll do it for sure. Yeah, that'll definitely do it. But yeah, like I said, if they utilize the whole gravity function in the combat, unlike the first game where it really didn't utilize it in the combat, just for the exploration, I think they'll have a real gem on their hands with Gravity Rush 2.
And Adam, what do you think of the new Gravity Rush and the remake?
Well, It's kind of one of those games that I've heard about, but I've not actually played the original Gravity Rush. But it sounds like I should do because it sounds like I'm missing out.
Oh, it's an amazing game. You are missing out. Wait till the
Perhaps
PS4 version. See, it depends on the price though with the PS4. If it's a full price, I don't know.
Because it was like launch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a launch title on the Vita.
Yeah, it was a launch title for the Vita.
Yeah.
Man, I'd definitely be missing out then, hadn't I? Might be worth perhaps maybe giving it a go, see what it's like. But good news for people who really enjoyed the first game that they're getting a sequel. So, yeah, it might be one I have to experience before the second one comes out, just to see how good it is. But no, it's good news. Good news is getting a sequel for the people who follow it and the people who really enjoy playing it.
I also like the fact that all the DLC will be included free with the remaster as well.
Yeah, quite honestly, Ben, I think they should have just bundled it with Gravity Rush 2.
Oh, that would have been brilliant.
I think that would have been the better choice. Obviously, on a business standpoint, they want to make sales for 2 games instead of 1. But
or if they really wanted to make sales, they could have included a demo of Gravity Rush 2.
There you go.
Release it a little bit later, but include a demo.
I think it's also worth noting that Blue Point Games is doing the remaster.
And they're amazing.
And they are amazing. They've pretty much remastered everything in perfect form. Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, Metal Gear HD collection, and they also are doing the Uncharted collection as well. So,
and with the Uncharted HD collection, they've actually made it better than the original. Well, they've used like the tech from Uncharted 2 and 3 into Uncharted 1 to improve the graphics.
Oh, nice.
That's why Drake looks completely different to his Uncharted 1 model, because they're using the Uncharted 3 model version of Drake.
Yeah.
To give it more detail.
Have they also confirmed if they're releasing that awesome collector's edition of Gravity Rush in North America or UK?
I didn't even hear about that one.
It's in the article. There's a collector's edition.
They
have a picture of it. Yeah.
In the
remake.
Okay, to say. Well, I'm going to go quickly check that if I can find it. While you guys... Yeah, I can't believe... This is completely not... I want to see this collector's edition. I want it. Even though I'm reviewing it, I'll probably end up buying it again. Sorry for the wait, everyone. This is too exciting to give it a miss.
I linked it to you, Ben. I linked it to you.
I found the link anyway.
Oh, okay.
I think. Ah, cool. That is cool. That is amazing. I want it.
Well, that box looks awesome too.
Yeah. Yeah, I want it. If anyone wants to know, there's a big box with a statue of a cat.
And the little kitty too.
And the kitty. I want it. Okay, while we're talking about things that we want, and with DLC being free, let's talk about Need for Speed. Yeah.
I saw what you did there, Ben.
Yeah. Need for Speed confirmed to run at 30 FPS on PS4 and Xbox One. No paid DLC planned. Developer Ghost Games has confirmed that the PS4 and Xbox One version of Need for Speed will run at 30 frames per second. And there'll be old people going, "Oh, but it's a racing game. It needs to run at the 60 frames." For any driving game, a steady frame rate is incredibly important, and with Need for Speed, we're delivering super high production values when it comes to both visuals and sound, as can be seen in our pre-alpha footage of the game, which might be faked. We always look to maximise the game technology with the platforming technology. That's a lot of technology for the experience we're building, which is why the game will run at 30 frames per second on both Xbox One and PS4. By doing this, we ensure your gameplay experience remains incredibly smooth and allows you to experience the high-speed, adrenaline-filled gameplay that you've come to expect from Need for Speed. The FAQ, blah blah blah, talks about why it needs an internet. You'll need a persistent internet connection, as a Need for Speed is committed to being a live service, so we can deliver an ongoing experience that is constantly changing and evolving. We will include free content updates and challenges as an ever-present way for you to earn rewards and constantly exploring the game. Oh my god! Need for Speed is an MMO racing world game thing. Adam, what do you think of this MMO racing game Speed 3 DLC thing?
Well, I like the Need for Speed series. I've always been a Need for Speed fan, especially way back when they released Underground 2, when it was properly about, modifying your cars. So I'm really looking forward to the new Need for Speed. I mean, to be honest with you, Drive Club ran at 30 frames per second, and there was never any issue with that. So I can't see why there'd be an issue with Need for Speed being 30 frames per second. But the fact that it comes with free DLC as well is always a bonus. I imagine that's probably car packs and stuff like that. But we don't get very many free DLC these days, do we, really?
Yeah, but sometimes when they say free DLC, it's a ring or a costume. Yay! Skin pack for cars, maybe.
Yeah. But no, looking forward to a new Need for Speed. Being online, I suppose, not really an issue, as long as the servers obviously stay with a steady connection. But no, I'm looking forward to it. Should be good.
What about you, Gary?
Well, I used to be a big Need for Speed fan when Criterion was still around. I'm not a big fan of the other developers working on it. I wasn't a big fan of Rivals when it came out. I think Most Wanted has been the best one so far. But yeah, 30 frames a second, I'm not going to complain about that. From what we've seen of the footage of the game, it looks incredible. And so obviously they probably couldn't get it to run at 60 frames, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't think racing games really need to run at 60 frames. But yeah, the paid DLC stuff, no paid DLC is great news. Like they say it won't have paid DLC, but that doesn't mean it won't have big expansions. Well, they'll probably charge you for later on. But yeah, no, it's good news. It's nice to see CD Projekt Red making headways for other developers with free DLC here.
Or it's going to have paid on this content. You're not downloading it.
Yeah, like what I see here is like, yeah, it'll be free, like new cars, and things like that. But if they want to like expand the game, say create a whole new area to explore, they'll probably charge for that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we've got exciting news next. Dane's favourite game is getting a sequel, kind of. Resident Evil Umbrella Corps. Enjoy it, Dane. Speaking at Sony's pre-Tokyo Game Show 2015 press conference earlier today, Capcom announced a all-new entry in the Resident Evil franchise, Resident Evil Umbrella Corps. I haven't even bothered watching the video because the whole name just sounds so stupid. The game is a hybrid of both first-person and third-person perspectives and sees the members of the Umbrella Corporation battling against each other. From the looks of things, it has a very similar feel to Resident Evil Dane's Raccoon City. The quickly became third-person shooter released a few years ago on PS3 and 360. And this is sad because Resident Evil has an anniversary next year. Why Capcom? Why? Just no. Gary, what do you think of Resident Evil Umbrella Dane Corps?
Oh my god.
The Daneage.
Operation Raccoon City is like the Resident Evil 2 compared to this game of the Resident Evil franchise. From everything that I have seen, like videos online, other websites, hands-on video previews of the game, it looks so bad. Like, just terrible. Like, the zombies they have in there don't even interact with you. You can just run right by them. They don't try to grab you. They don't do anything. They're just there as, like, decoys.
Decoration zombies.
Yeah.
Decoration Zambeezis.
You can use them as a shield if you want to. But, it just looks so bad. So bad.
Man, it sounds like they've done, like, a green light version of Resident Evil.
It's like they're trying to appease everybody or appeal to everyone, like every gamer. If you like old Resident Evil, we have Resident Evil 0 HD remaster coming out. If you like Resident Evil 5 and 6, we have this shooter game that has nothing to do with the Resident Evil franchise. It just has the name and zombies. You know, it's like the cover system is atrocious from what I've seen. Like this big green hue appears with like this line that points you into which cover you can go and hide behind.
So, oh my god! Now they need to make another remake of Resident Evil Time Crisis. Thing.
Even that game looks better than this game, man.
Resident Crisis.
It
Time
just
Evil.
Yeah.
You have no idea how bad I don't know where they're getting the first person thing from. From every video I've seen, I haven't seen anybody shoot their gun in first person whatsoever. But
Maybe they can't work out the buttons. Maybe it's an R2 button and the developers haven't programmed it in yet.
yeah, but for some positives though, from what I've seen, they seem to have added a lot of cool things you can do. Like when you're climbing the ladder, for example. You don't have to reach all the way to the top to start shooting. You can like shoot off the ladder. You can shoot all the way at the top. Just like put your gun out and start shooting. That was pretty cool. The melee kills look pretty brutal from what I've seen. Well, what else? It's really hard to find any positives here.
It's okay, Gary. All those positive things that you like the look of that would increase and improve the better Resident Evil games. It's okay, Gary. It's okay. They'll all be dropped.
They'll all be dropped.
They'll all be dropped, and only the bad things will stay. Like the zombies not doing anything. They'll be in Resident Evil 7.
Oh, yeah, if Resident Evil 7 is ever made.
Well, Sony will fund it.
Like you said, it's the 20th anniversary of Resident Evil, and this is the game they decide to make for that anniversary. Like, really? It's just so disappointing. That, you know, we know Resident Evil 7 is in development. I don't care if you show me a concept picture. That would be more entertaining than seeing this game.
Just show the pitch. Show the logo. There we go. Done.
Exactly. This is not something you should celebrate Resident Evil with. This is not a celebration of Resident Evil at all.
It's a cry for help.
Show me a character model of the now confirmed Resident Evil 2 remake. Show me something. I don't care. Don't show me this.
Show me someone's
as
foot.
a big celebration of the franchise. This game looks.
Just show me a HD picture of a herb.
I'll take that. A concept picture of an herb. I don't even care. It looks like a really bad free-to-play game. If they charge you for this, it's an atrocity.
If they charge you for it, there's chances are it's going to have DLC.
Of course, this is early. The game could be amazing when it comes out.
No, it won't.
Everything I've seen right now, it looks absolutely terrible.
No, it won't be amazing.
And nobody's happy about it. People who've played it in Japan during the Tokyo Game Show at other websites, I've read almost every hands-on preview, and nobody was happy playing that game at all. So, yeah.
Adam, is there anything you want to add to this amazing game?
Not really. I think I'm with Gary on that one, to be honest with you. I think I got about 30 seconds into the trailer and shut it off. Yeah, like Gary, I wasn't impressed. To be honest with you, it almost feels like they're just bringing it out for something to do in between Resident Evil 7. But yeah, no, I wasn't impressed. It's not something that, unless, of course, they vastly improve it between now and its release, it's something I'm going to avoid, definitely.
It sounds like they just gave it to the interns to make.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Stopgap.
I really want to know if this is being done in-house or if they're letting somebody else do it, if they're licensing it out of seas. Because if this is a Japanese game, then they obviously don't understand what a third-person shooter is, in my opinion. And they should just leave that to the Western developers to do.
Okay, Assassin's Creed Syndicate Jack the Ripper DLC confirmed. Jack the Ripper DLC will be available to buy separately, but will also be bundled in with the Season Pass content, which hopefully they won't just scam everyone up with last year. Which they never gave me my free game, by the way.
That's because you never called them.
Yeah.
I told you to do it times and you didn't do it.
The video walks around the Whitechapel where Jack the Ripper stalked his prey. The police are on his tail basically you've got assassin the Jack the Ripper. You've got to rip the Ripper. Adam, are you looking forward to the new Assassin's Creed? Are you looking forward to Jack the Ripper?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new Assassin's Creed, mainly because it takes part in London. But yeah, I think it's quite an interesting idea and an interesting take on DLC to chase down one of the most notorious serial killers in history. But yeah, I think that's an interesting add-on, shall we say. Be interesting to see which direction they go with it. Whether you actually chase him down and take him out, or you chase him down and he escapes. But I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one.
I wonder if you're unlocking a Jack the Ripper outfit for beating it.
You could do.
Yeah.
That might be your prize.
Amazing.
Garri, are you looking forward to Assassin's Creed Syndicate?
It's really hard to say. I would have been looking forward to it a lot more if it was like 3 years ago when they had their big vote. It's like, where do you want Assassin's Creed to go next? And like feudal Japan and Victorian London were number 1 and number 2. And they decided to go to the Caribbean, which didn't even make the top 10. And then the French Revolution, which didn't even make the top 20 from what I remember. And So if they would have gone back then, when, in my opinion, Assassin's Creed for me was still fun to play, that would have been great. Now it's not fun for me anymore. I don't think it's innovating anything. It's not changing anything to its formula. It's pretty much the same game over and over for me at this point. But like Duffman said, the Victorian London era is one of my favorite eras. And it is kind of pushing me to maybe buy the game. Probably not at launch, but eventually, because I just love that time period. But as far as the Jag the Ripper DLC, I honestly assume that was going to be part of the original game. Maybe as a side quest or some of the story missions will probably do it. But obviously, something as big as Jag the Ripper, they're probably going to do it as DLC. So here it is. But it is going to be interesting because apparently it takes place after his final kill happened. From what I understood in the trailer, he talks about how he's missed doing it and he's going to start doing it again. So I'm assuming it takes place after he supposedly disappeared after the 5th victim. I think it was the 5th victim. I don't remember. All I remember is like I did a 25-page report on Jack the Ripper in college, because I'm so fascinated with him and that whole killing spree that he had. But yeah, like I think it's great. Utilize it. It's a well-known figure. It's one of the most infamous serial killers of all time. So why not? If you're doing a game set in that time period, why not have him in the game in some way or form? So, yeah, I know Steven had he wrote an article about it glamorizing the killer instead of the victims, and it always happens. Everybody always remembers the killer and nobody ever remembers the name of the victims when it comes to serial killers. But, yeah, it's a character who's appeared quite a bit in other medium, Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper game. Jack the Ripper had an appearance in The Order 1886. So it's a character who, if you're doing anything Victorian London, you pretty much have to include the murders in some way, shape, or form because it rocked all of London. From what I read back in that time, everybody talked about that case. So yeah, sorry I went off on such a long tangent.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm just very fascinated by Jack the Ripper and the whole case. Like I said, I did a 25-page report in college on the whole thing. So, yeah, I think it's awesome. Like, I would actually buy Assassin's Creed if it just focused on the Ripper itself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next story. Mass Effect Andromeda
Andromeda.
is best and largest Mass Effect to date. Alistair McNally, creative director at BioWare, has taken to Twitter, showing his thoughts on the upcoming Mass Effect for PS4, PC, and Xbox One. Alistair McNally said, "Spent today reviewing creative progress on Mass Effect Andromeda. I believe it to be the best and certainly the largest Mass Effect hype. #hype. Mass Effect Andromeda is due out in holiday 2016. Though we've not yet seen any Mass Effect gameplay footage, it's rumoured that we can also expect similar combat to Mass Effect 3. New alien races will be set in the Helios cluster of the Andromeda Galaxy, deeper control over responses such as by punching people, interrupting chat. Upgrade typical vehicles, blueprints allow you to upgrade alien technology, and strike team missions on Horde mode. We're also expecting at the ending to be much happier than Mass Effect 3. I doubt it, because it's a new trilogy, so they're going to end with some shocking twist. M. Night Shyamalan style. Adam, are you looking forward to Mass Effect Andromeda?
I am. Mainly because I can hear the collective groans already going here, but mainly because I've not actually played any of the Mass Effect. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so I'm hoping that perhaps maybe, although it's obviously part of the whole Mass Effect series, it might be one that I can easily get into and play without having to know too much of the story.
It's set if the rumor is true, it's set in a different galaxy. Because the Reapers because they were worried that the Reapers might win, so the people that got sent off don't know actually what happened in Mass Effect 3.
It takes place in the Helios cluster of the Andromeda Galaxy.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that I can play it and not have to worry about what's happened in the other Mass Effects because it won't be too confusing for me.
Yeah, it won't have anything to do with it.
That's what they said. Yeah, I think they kind of... That's why they're starting a new trilogy. Like, this game has absolutely no connections and nothing to do with the original trilogy, so you can just jump right into it.
Yeah, cool.
Players of the original trilogy know why they've been there, but that's the only thing that they'll know.
But it's a trilogy I've always wanted to play, which I will get around to playing at some point because I've heard a lot about it. But no, I mean, it's good it sounds like they're obviously utilising the power of the PlayStation 4 because with the new generation consoles to make games bigger with all the the new technology we've got, for me, can only be a good thing. As long as obviously you've got a bit of transport, so you're not spending hours trying to get from one place to another. But to hear that it's going to be one of the largest Mass Effects in terms of scope can only be a good thing, I suppose.
And Garri, are you looking forward to Mass Effect Andromeda AD?
Not really. To tell you the truth, I played Mass Effect 1 and 2. I wasn't very impressed with it. I got really bored playing Mass Effect 2. But I know people are super excited for it, so that's great for them. But yeah, for me, not really. My problem is they keep saying it's bigger, and from my experience, the bigger the game gets, the less fun it becomes because you're focusing on making it too big, and you end up having a game that's massive with nothing to do in it.
I just want more co-op features online.
And they seem to be pushing that. I think it's going to really push a lot of the multiplayer stuff, like Horde mode's returning. Now they're adding strike team missions into it. I don't know. I
spent so much money on Horde mode, real money.
But as far as a similar combat to Mass Effect 3, that's fine. But hopefully you improved and changed some stuff to make it better. Not just have a clone of the same combat, but yeah, just don't call it an RPG. In my opinion, it's a third-person shooter now. Damn it.
Well, it used to be an RPG with Mass Effect 1.
Yes, thank you. I agree with that. And then when it went to 2, it became a third-person shooter. I don't care. People will argue with me all they want, but when Mass Effect 2, when it wins the award of best third-person shooter and best RPG, like, you can't have both categories and win in them. Those are two different genres of games. How are you going to win in both of them? It's one or the other.
I can't wait till next year. Mass Effect 4 wins. Mass Effect Andromeda wins Best First-Person Shooter, Best RPG, and Best Co-op, and Best MMO. Well, it'd be like Destiny winning Best MMO.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, people are gonna eat it up. They love it. That's fine. That's great for them. They should enjoy it because it is a great. I'm not saying it's a bad game. Mass Effect is a great franchise. It's just not for me. That's it. Sorry.
Okay, now there's something that I'm really excited for, especially for me right now. PlayStation VR priced to be similar to a new console, says Sony PlayStation Europe, North America, I think. Yeah, just think. The head of Sony Computer Entertainment Inc. has said that the PlayStation VR, the upcoming virtual reality headset formerly known as the Morpheus, which is a better name in my opinion, will be priced similarly to a new console. Speaking with Bloomberg, Andrew House will not divulge any exact figure, but comment the device will be priced as a new gaming platform, indicating could pay up to £350 for the headset. VR rewrites the rulebook and how you can create games. You're seeing a large amount of interest and work happening among smaller teams because it's possible to create something in VR that is very simple but still very magical. I personally do not think this will be £350. I'm going to go with £200 to £250, with $300 to $350 being the price point in North America. When he says new gaming platform, that could mean anything. That doesn't automatically mean the PS4. The Kinect was technically a new gaming platform. The PlayStation Eye was technically a new gaming platform. The Vita is a new gaming platform. Anything that changes the way you play games is a new gaming platform. It doesn't mean it's a PS4. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see the price. But there is a lot of technology in it, so I can see why it's going to be kind of expensive. Garri, would you pay $350 for the Morpheus?
No, I will not.
How much would you pay?
Maximum $250.
Okay.
It cannot be more than. I'm sorry, like you cannot ask me to pay what I'm paying for my PS4 right now.
No, by the way, $350. I'm saying that with the camera and the Move.
Oh, combined?
Yeah.
Then yes, maybe. Maybe $325.
Yeah.
Will be a better price, not $350. If it's just standalone Morpheus or PlayStation VR, if it's just that headset for $350.
Well, you always get a splitter box as well. So the splitter box plugs in between your PS4 and your TV. That way, when you're playing a game with multiplayer, you can have the VR on you and the game screen on the screen, so your mate will see a different screen to you.
That sounds like a requirement that it has to come with that anyway.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's what it comes with that, so that's pricey. Maybe. I don't know, it shouldn't be that expensive, it's just a HDMI splitter.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying in general, if it's just a headset for $350, absolutely not. Nobody should buy it for that price. I don't care how much technology is in it. It's a peripheral. Kinect was what, $250 standalone? Yeah. And look what happened to the Kinect. It absolutely failed. It's like the only way I can see justifying $350 just for that headset is if it launches with like 20 games already playable in VR, and you can guarantee that a constant flow of games is going to support it. Because right now, all I'm seeing from VR in general is all these demos of games that are already out. Like Alien Isolation had a Project Morpheus demo. At the Tokyo Game Show, they had Final Fantasy XIV.
I want that.
The Titan fight in VR. And they have all these cool demos that everybody loves, but then they come out and say that there are no plans to release any updates for these games to run in VR. So what you're telling me is you're showing me all these games that run in VR, but they actually won't do it when the headset comes out because you have no plans to do it. It's just a demo. Instead of showing me demos of games that are never going to run in VR, show me the games that are going to run in VR and maybe future games that will as well. If you can't guarantee me that companies are going to take the time and make sure their games run in VR, then it's just going to be another failed peripheral for Sony. Just like the Move was a failure. The PlayStation camera is a failure, I'm sorry to say. Vita memory cards, absolute failure. The Vita itself is now a failure because of those memory cards.
Hey, that camera gave me a game where I had to play naked. I think it wins. It's not a failure.
Sony's just not very good at their peripheral marketing, I guess you can say. Like, everybody's talking about VR as like the next best thing. Well, they said 3D TVs were the next best thing, and that failed. Sony got behind that 100%, and look what happened to that. So, if you're going to charge me the price of, say, console, then you have to prove to me that you're going to have a steady flow of content for it. Because in my opinion, I'd rather just get the Oculus Rift, which I think they've said is not going to exceed more than $250 when it launches. I'd rather get that than pay $350 for something that will probably only run on PlayStation.
See, that's why I think it won't be that priced, because the Morpheus only has one screen, which helps with the price reduction. The Oculus has two screens.
And if they're telling me two screens is only $250, then and the Oculus Rift is going to run on everything, TV, PC monitors, PC games, whereas PlayStation VR is probably only going to be specific to PlayStation.
Well, till people hack it.
Most people are not going to hack it.
No, I mean, like, they're going to, they'll do a driver. It'll be day one, pretty much. PC modders will make it work on PC.
I'm sure, but most people, who aren't tech savvy, are just going to buy it and you only use it on PlayStation. So.
Well, I'll probably only use it on PlayStation, but I'm just saying that'll be what happens.
Oh, most likely.
And Adam, how much would you pay for the Morpheus? Well, I'm not going to call it Morpheus, I'm just going to Morpheus. Screw it.
I've got to say I'm probably with Garri on this one, to be honest with you. I mean, if they are going to charge you the price for a console for it, it needs to be well supported. Because I'd be willing to probably pay about, in terms of British pounds, 250.
Yeah, that's how much I want to pay, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be the maximum I would go. But I mean, even then, are they going to support it? Yeah. Are they going to believe in it enough? Because like Garri said, the Vita, that deserves so much more. Sony didn't market it right.
Yeah.
So are they going to do the same with PlayStation VR? I mean, if you're going to spend that sort of money, because, that is, for quite a few people, that's still quite a bit of money to spend on a peripheral. Yeah. I'd be happy to pay 250 quid, but like Garri said, I'd want to see that Sony believe in it themselves and Sony are willing to market it so it is a success, because I don't want to spend 250 quid on something that's going to fail 3-4 months down the line, and then you can't sell it on because nobody wants it and you're stuck with something that's got no games. So I'd be willing to pay that much for it, but it's got to be supported right.
Well, I've got some good news in a way. Next Friday, I will be able to use the Morpheus myself.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'll be able to see what it's like.
Yeah, you'll play games that are never going to support it.
No, I'm getting to play an indie game where you're in a dungeon.
See, that's the other problem I have.
Yeah.
If you're counting on indie games to push Project Morpheus, then you failed already. You have to. For something like, if you're charging such a huge amount of money for something, you have to have big AAA games and developers behind it. You can't sell that thing on indies alone.
I want Ubisoft on it. I want Mirror's Edge VR. Now with 10% more bath bag.
I think they've said that the next Gran Turismo 7, will offer PlayStation VR support.
That'd be the perfect game.
Yeah, that's what the VR for me is perfect for, is racing games. And obviously,
horror.
if Gran Turismo 7 is going to include that, then maybe it might be, interesting to see how it works.
Okay, well, I think we're done with news this week. In fact, we're going to go straight to reviews. This is a review by Adam. I can never say his name right. Adam Byrne.
Sure.
The final word. Well, so he's reviewed Mad Max: The Road Warrior. As a jack of all trades and master of none, there is a distinct charm inherent with Avalanche Studios' take on Mad Max, and provided you can get it cheaper than its full price listing, you can certainly do a lot worse. We like the dynamic weather effects, the car chases and combat, the interesting aspects to the world. We dislike the weak narrative, the terrain traversal, a pain with short jump button, a formulaic mechanics. 7.0 out of 10. Anyone, have you purchased it, Garri?
I have not purchased it. I do want to purchase it, but it just launched at a very bad time.
Yeah. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, again, like Garri just said, it launched along with Metal Gear Solid, didn't it? And that's kind of a hard game to compete with. I think they should have either maybe released it a couple of weeks earlier or a couple of weeks later. I think they probably released that one at the wrong time.
Okay, Resident Evil 2 Revelations by Michael Harradence, who will be here next week to replace my amazingly bad hosting skills, but he'll be back to replace. Anyway, the final word, Resident Evil Revelations 2 on PSV is a flawed port that only comes recommended if it's your sole option of playing the game. We like the solid gameplay from console version, plenty of content, raid mode as addictive as ever. We dislike the poor frame rate, the production values are noticeably downgraded, and pointless touchscreen controls. 6.5 out of 10. Which, considering how much he said it was a flawed port, 6.5 is pretty high, really. That sounded like a sigh, Garri. What do you think?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's just another crappy port that should not have been made. They never should have announced this on the Vita, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because even the console version of the game, in my opinion, wasn't incredibly great. And moving it to the Vita and forcing people to use touchscreen controls, like use the touchscreen to crouch, really? You couldn't map that to the O button like it was on the console version? I mean, come on. It's just, yeah. I hate it when companies force you to do things that you don't want to do.
And Adam, is there anything did you purchase it?
No, to be honest with you, when experience has told me from The Walking Dead that bad frame rate is quite hard to enjoy a game on the Vita. So when people were saying about the bad frame rate, I decided to just give it a miss.
Okay, smart move. One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 by some twat named Benjamin Shillabeer-Hall. I don't know who he is.
This guy's a loser. He needs to be fired.
He needs to be fired.
Why is he still even here?
I don't even know what he does. I keep seeing reviews
don't.
every so often, but then he disappears again. He just doesn't do anything. He needs to go. Anyway, what he said, of course, who really cares what he said, but we're going to have to read it out anyway, just because it'll be unfair to him. The final word is, while not everyone's cup of tea, One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 is a solid entry into the franchise that fans won't want to miss. He liked the charming and faithful graphics, the amazing soundtrack, the huge list of characters to pick from. He disliked that it can be repetitive at times and there's not much time to react to an SOS. An 8.5 out of 10. We actually had a comment on this, so I'm going to read it out anyway, because I hate that they're working with Koei on this game so much. Going to kick someone for it. Bought first two games when released. Not going to do the same mistake third time. Going to get it when it hits $20 because that's what's getting real worth by Shingo. So yeah, he doesn't like it, but this Ben Shillabeer-Hall does. So yeah, Garri, have you ever played the One Piece Pirate Warriors series?
I played the first one.
Nice.
It was quite enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's everything that every Dynasty Warriors game is. You have Dynasty Warriors Gundam.
Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, they all pretty much play the exact same, just with different characters and different abilities. So if you don't like those types of games, then don't even bother with it. I'm sorry, you can be a diehard One Piece fan, but if you don't like those types of games, like Dynasty Warriors games, you're not going to enjoy it. Sorry to say, you're just not.
Okay, yeah, it was a pain in the ass to review because of that. And anyway, Adam, have you ever played the One Piece games?
I haven't, to be completely honest with you. Not one that's even been on my radar, really. Got to be honest, it's probably one that I probably won't play either.
Yeah. Well, if you're not a big fan of Dynasty Warriors, then chances are no.
No, I've never enjoyed Dynasty. Well, I've played Dynasty Warriors, but I never enjoyed it, so it don't sound like I'd enjoy this.
No, it's just Dynasty Warriors, but with One Piece skin.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors should just be its own like genre now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every game that plays like it should just be called the Dynasty Warriors genre.
The DW genre.
There you go.
Okay, let's go to the next review by Dane Smith.
Nobunaga's Ambition.
There we go. Nobunaga's Ambition. Sphere of Influence. The final word, the long-awaited localization of a famed franchise that fails to make an impact with little depth of strategy. This is a game designed for those who love Japanese history or a franchise diehards. Only that love will keep you wanting to play through the game more than once. He liked the inspiring soundtrack, the beautiful character portraits, the good AI that can on combat efficiently. He disliked the little depth in the combat, no useful tech trees or upgrades, tedious economy system without use of AI. 6.0 out of 10. I'm guessing neither of you are a big fan of this.
I know of it. It's super popular in Japan for obvious reasons. I'm really surprised that they actually released another one here in North America. I believe they used to go by Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Yeah.
And then they released like a different version called Nobunaga's Ambition, which tells a different, like, it focuses on one of the armies or one of the character stories, which is Nobunaga, and it pretty much kind of played the same as those games, but obviously in this one, I remember they used to be super in-depth strategy, like to the very smallest detail. You had to micromanage everything to make sure everything was just good. But according to Dane, that's not the case anymore, which is kind of sad. It's more streamlined now, but yeah.
Okay. Well, we've done with reviews. We've done with our news. We're not doing a question of the week because there's no Neil, so we're going to leave that for when he comes back. So we're going to go straight to what have you guys been playing?
Whoa. We're not going to chill with Chille?
No, chill with Chille this week. We'll chill with Chille next week when I've got all the information from Eurogamer, so I can tell everyone all the good news and all the good stuff.
That works for me.
Well, we're not gabbing with Garri either, so.
Gabbing with Garri.
Wow.
Or accumulating with Adam.
Crazy bad.
So yeah, we're going to go to what we've been playing. What have you been playing, Garri? And how can I contact you afterwards?
Metal Gear Solid 5. I'm still chugging away on that game. Still doing a lot of stuff. Trying to focus on the story missions now rather than side ops. Because those are pretty much all the same, doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm doing that. Still, my opinion of the game hasn't changed from the last time I talked about it. I've been playing a game I can't talk about, unfortunately. But it's a very tense game, and it's kind of hard to play for me because I have to play it in small chunks because it just gets too much. But hopefully you'll get my review sometime this week, Tuesday or Wednesday of it. Let's see, what else have I been playing? I've still been playing Dokkan Battle on my phone, the Dragon Ball Z game. I'm getting super frustrated with it though because I keep getting really crappy characters on my summons, and I'm getting kind of sick of it because all my friends have like SSR characters, and I don't even have. I have like 2 SR characters. It's kind of annoying. Let's see. What else have I been playing? Super Time Force. I've been playing that with my friend. That game is a bunch of fun. One of the best free indie titles that you can get, in my opinion. Right now, you got it free with PS Plus, so everybody should check that game out. It's kind of hard on the eyes on a big screen TV, but super fun to play. And Smash Brothers, still playing that with my friends. That's still quite a bit of fun. And Until Dawn, I'm slowly going back into that game again, and kind of forgot all the decisions I made last time, so hopefully I won't make the same decisions this time and try to keep everybody alive, except for one person. I want them to die. They don't die, because every decision I made on my first playthrough to kill that character, they would not die. I got so angry with that. I started to assume that this character is important to the story, and they won't let me kill this character. Yeah, but yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Yeah. Well, I've been darting between Destiny: The Taken King and which I know, Gary, you love, and Metal Gear Solid 5. I managed to get quite far in Metal Gear Solid 5, actually. In fact, I've spent many a night playing that till the early hours of the morning just because of how good it is.
I want to hear your thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 5.
Sorry?
I want to get your thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 5.
Well, for me, my favourite part of Metal Gear Solid 5, believe it or not, is Mother Base. I seem to spend...
Try not to spoil things story-wise or anything.
Yeah, caution spoilers. Yeah, no, for me, I've spent most of my GMP building up Mother Base, mainly for the advantages of the support platforms and the R&D platforms. I mean, I've not developed many weapons, but it's such a great game. It really is. I mean, it makes you think about how you have to play it, how you have to go in it. You know, you can't just run and gun, because you get killed pretty quickly if you try and do that, especially in the later stages. And I love how the enemies adapt to how you play as well. I mean, there's some great AI in the game just to be able to cover the places that you hit them the most. It's hard not to say too much without spoiling it, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's brilliant. I enjoy the fact that it's open world as well, which for a Metal Gear game is the first, I think, isn't it? I don't think any other Metal Gear game's been open world.
Not like this one, no.
No. It gives you so much more diversity on how you're actually going to attack the missions and make your way through the missions. I must admit, I think I got on to about mission 33, 34. I won't say that much more about it because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, it's a fantastic game, it really is.
Let me ask you this then, because you're on the Metal Gear podcast too.
Yeah.
Does this feel like a Metal Gear game to you, though? Or could this game be as great as it is without Metal Gear on the title?
It's different from any other Metal Gear game. So I can understand some people say, well, it doesn't feel like a Metal Gear because of how it plays. But honestly, yeah, I do feel like it is a Metal Gear game. I can understand the gripes that people are having because of the lack of storyline. Because all Metal Gears or all previous Metal Gears were heavy on the storyline, and this not so much. I was disappointed that David Hayter wasn't Snake again, because, like I said on the Metal Gear podcast, David Hayter will always be Snake to me. But yeah, I still feel like it is a Metal Gear game because you've still got the stealth, like all Metal Gear games had. You've got the main protagonists that all the Metal Gear game, or most of the Metal Gear games have had. So yeah, personally, I still feel like it's a Metal Gear game, but I can understand why some people don't.
Okay.
Do you feel like it's a Metal Gear game? What do you think?
I personally feel like it started off as a Metal Gear game. Like when you get into the opening is fantastic. It's probably the best Metal Gear opening since the original Metal Gear. And in my opinion, I think once things started to go downhill with Konami, I think Kojima started to lose the passion for it a little bit. And you kind of start to see that, obviously in the story. You really see it in the story. Because after it starts off so well, the first, like, maybe 15 missions that you do have absolutely no impact on the story whatsoever. They're just, like, filler missions. Like, there's a lot of missions in a game. I think there's, like, over 50 missions, and literally, like, 85% of them do nothing for the game, like, story-wise. It's just all filler content.
Yeah, I can see your point.
You obviously are past the point where the big sequence happens, for like the first big sequence. And even that, like, it just didn't have any impact in it. Like, they set up all these characters, and then most of them really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. You know, like, even now, like, in my opinion, I've Ocelot and Miller, they have, like, no impact in the story whatsoever. Like, I don't think the story would make any difference if those characters weren't even in the game. Like, nothing would change for me. Like, it just doesn't have the same push, I guess, or the same views and the same philosophies that Kojima has always put into his games. Like, I just don't see it in this one. Like, I just feel like the passion for it left him, like, mid-development of this game, which is kind of sad for me. As far as gameplay-wise goes, it is phenomenal. Like, don't get me wrong, it is a fantastic game. I totally 100% agree that it's at least a 9.5, easily, out of 10. Just what Mike gave it on our review. It is a fantastic game. But to me, I said this a few weeks ago on Unchained with Ben. To me, it feels like the Resident Evil 3 of the Metal Gear Solid franchise, where it has a number behind it, but it doesn't feel like it's part of the main entry of the franchise. Like, it hasn't added anything to the mythos of Metal Gear. If anything, it rewrites a lot of stuff that has already been said. You know, so to me, it feels more like it should have just been a sequel to Peace Walker than anything else, because it plays exactly like it. It's like an HD version of Peace Walker on PS4. But it is a fantastic game, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, I can see your point there, to be fair. Even though, like you say, Ocelot and Miller are in it, they don't seem to have a lot to do with it. No, I do see what you're saying there, yeah.
And so far, like, Miller has had the most voice acting I've ever seen in any Metal Gear. Like, I just hear him all the time. It's like, other people can talk in this game too, you know? It's not just him.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up now.
Okay.
Before we turn it into another Metal Gear podcast.
You haven't told us what you've been playing, though, Ben.
Well, I've been playing Destiny. And Warframe.
And on that, you can reach me out.
You can contact me at ben.shillabeer-hall@psu.com, Chille_UK, Chille on Neogaf, Chille on Twitter. Chille on UK on Twitter, sorry, Chille on PSN. I'm at 700 friends on PSN now, so it's going up slowly.
I've got 100.
So, yeah. How do you want to... You can contact Garri at
Gaglaush on Twitter. That's Gaglaush. Please do. I'm close to 100 friends or followers on Twitter. You know what's funny? I've had like 16 DJs start following me, like renowned DJs. I'm like, Who the hell Like, did I make a music post somewhere that all of a sudden DJs are like following me? I don't get it. But yeah.
I got DJ as well. DJ My Verse.
DJ
Myers. DJ Myers. Michael Myers, DJ.
Awesome.
Oh.
How can I contact you, Adam?
Well, you don't just have to be a DJ to follow me on Twitter. I'm Duffman1986, and you can contact me on my PSU email, which is adam.duffield@psu.com.
Okay, with that note, we're ended. Oh, before I end it, if you want a chance to win a copy of Destiny in a steel tin on PS4, this is a European copy, a UK copy. So if you live in America, you will have to purchase the Taken King and the DLC off the UK store, as it will not be compatible with the North American store. You can have a chance to win this. All you have to do is answer this simple question: Who is the new voice for the Ghost? So who's doing the new voice acting for the Ghost in Destiny? So email me at ben.shillabeer-hall@psu.com or the podcast@psu.com, or even mike.harridans@psu.com, just to confuse the hell out of him. So yeah, you'll have a chance to win a steel tin copy of Destiny. I'm very good, so you should all be thankful. Everyone out there should be thankful, and should thank God for me. Bye, everyone.
Believe in Garri. Believe in Garri. Believe in Garri. Believe in Garri.